This scene was caught on camera by rangers who almost intervened too soon. What looked like cruelty was something else entirely, something that would leave even the most experienced wildlife experts speechless. The Masai Mara stretches endlessly beneath the East African sun, a golden ocean of grass that bends and whispers in the dry season wind. Acacia trees stand like old sentinels along the ridgeline, casting thin shadows over cracked red earth. In the distance, a river cuts through the land like a silver wound, drawing every living thing toward it. Vultures circle lazily somewhere above the tree line. The sky is enormous here. Everything feels watched. It is early morning. The light is soft and amber, the kind that makes even danger look beautiful. A herd of zebra grazes near the riverbank, 30, maybe 40 animals, their stripes rippling like water as they move. And at the edge of the herd, partially hidden by a stand of dry brush, a female stands alone. Her name, the rangers would later write in their log, was simply Female 7. She had been monitored for 3 seasons, reliable, calm, a good mother. But this morning, something is wrong. Ranger Joel Kimani spots her first through his binoculars from the observation vehicle. He goes still. His colleague, David Osai, lowers his radio. On the ground beside Female 7 is a newborn foal, just hours old, its legs still learning the language of standing. The baby is alive, breathing, blinking slowly in the morning light. Beautiful in the fragile way that only the newly born can be. And the mother is stepping on it. Not once, not by accident. She circles the foal and brings her hoof down deliberately, it seems, onto the baby's flank. The foal cries out, a sound like a broken instrument, and tries to rise. Falls again. The mother steps back, then does it again. Joel is already reaching for the door handle. "Wait," David says quietly. What follows is 4 of the longest minutes either man will ever sit through. Female 7 keeps nudging, bumping, pressing her foal with her hooves and her muzzle, sometimes gently, sometimes with what looks like aggression. The foal struggles each time. Each struggle is a little stronger than the last. And then, David sees it. He grabs the binoculars. There, just beyond the tree line, partially camouflaged in the long grass, are 2 shapes. Low, patient, watching. Hyenas. 2 of them, holding position at a careful distance, waiting for the foal to go still, waiting for the mother to give up, waiting for silence. Female 7 knew they were there. She had known from the beginning. Every time she nudged her baby, every push, every bump, every moment that looked like harm, she was refusing to let it rest. She was teaching it, urgently, desperately, that the ground was not safe, that stillness was death, that it needed to stand and stand now, because the world does not wait for the weak to find their feet. She was not trampling her baby. She was saving its life. Joel sets down the door handle. Neither man speaks. Over the next 20 minutes, the foal rises 3 times and falls twice. Female 7 never stops. She pushes, she nudges, she calls to it in low, rumbling sounds that the foal seems to recognize even now, even in its first hour of life. The herd grazes nearby, alert, but trusting her to handle what needs handling. On the 4th attempt, the foal stands. It wobbles, legs splayed like a new piece of furniture being assembled for the first time. It takes 1 step, then another. Female 7 moves beside it immediately, her body a wall between her baby and the tree line. The hyenas, denied their window, begin to pace. One of them makes a low, descending call, frustration or communication, hard to tell. Then, as the foal takes its 7th or 8th unsteady step and the herd shifts to surround them both, the hyenas simply leave. They melt back into the long grass and disappear. Female 7 lowers her head and grooms her foal slowly, long strokes of her muzzle along its neck, its back, its trembling flanks. The foal leans into her. Joel writes in his log, "Mother employed active stimulation behavior to induce ambulatory response in high predator risk environment.
Foal achieved mobility, both animals healthy. But what he tells his wife that evening, sitting outside their small house as the Mara turns purple and copper in the last light, is this: she knew. She looked like the worst thing in her baby's world, and she was the only thing standing between it and death. She never stopped, not once. Sometimes love looks nothing like what we expect it to look like. Sometimes it looks hard and sharp and relentless. Sometimes the most devoted thing a mother can do is refuse to let her child stay down. Female 7 and her foal were tracked for the next 8 weeks. The foal, a male, strong and fast, was observed running alongside her mother within 48 hours of birth. By the second week, he had already begun testing the boundaries of the herd, the way young males do, that small rebellion that means everything is exactly as it should be. The hyenas were spotted 3 more times near the herd that season. They never got close. Justice in the Masai Mara does not come with a verdict. It comes on 4 legs at full gallop, alive because someone refused to give up. If this story moved you, if you felt what those rangers felt sitting in that vehicle, watching a mother fight for her child in the only language the wild understands, please hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss another story from the places where nature writes its own rules. Every week, there is something out there that will change the way you see the world. Don't miss it.